Can you imagine losing your simple cognitive functions, such as your train of thought, memory, and reasoning skills? Or even having your behavior change and diminish to the point where it interferes with your daily life and activities? According to the National Institute of Aging, this is what happens to those who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. A few years ago, my grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and like many people, I thought that the disease was very straightforward and simple, and that those with the disease lose their memory as they get older with age. Recently, however, my grandma's Alzheimer's has gotten worse, and I wanted to get a more clear understanding of what the disease is, so I began to do research. After my research, I have come to the conclusion that my previous understanding of Alzheimer's was not accurate. Alzheimer's disease is a specific type of dementia that causes there to be uneven levels of protein both inside and outside of the brain. This makes it hard for brain cells to communicate to each other properly. Because of this, the lack of communication results in issues in how someone with the disease thinks, acts, and how much they can remember. A distinct feature of Alzheimer's is that the symptoms with the disease increase and worsen slowly over time. This makes it harder for those with the disease to do everyday activities because the symptoms worsen. WebMD states that there are 3 types of Alzheimer's. The first one is early onset Alzheimer's, which occurs in those under the age of 65. It is not that common and is only found within 10% of people with Alzheimer's. The most common form of Alzheimer's is late onset Alzheimer's, which occurs in almost 90% of those who have Alzheimer's. Those who have late onset Alzheimer's are over the age of 65, and it actually turns out that half of the people over the age of 85 have late onset Alzheimer's. The least common type of Alzheimer's is familial Alzheimer's, which occurs in less than 1% of people who have Alzheimer's. This type of Alzheimer's is completely hereditary and usually has at least 2 generations of people within the family with Alzheimer's. Although there are different types of Alzheimer's, the stages that people who are diagnosed go through are pretty much the same. The Alzheimer's Association states that the rate at which they go through these stages and at what age they will start varies, but the nature of Alzheimer's is broken down and classified into 7 stages, each with symptoms that get more severe over time. Stage 1 is considered normal, and there is no impairment with memory, thinking, or actions. Stage 2, there is a slight decline, and the person forgets simple words and names of common objects. Stage 3 is the mild decline, when the affected person loses valuable objects and has trouble remembering new names and registering them with new faces. Stage 4 is the moderate decline, and in this stage, people can't remember recent events and they begin to forget past memories and things that they used to do. Stage 5 is moderately severe decline, and people are confused about what part of the day it is, where they're at, and they also have trouble dressing for the appropriate season, so they would wear shorts and a t-shirt when it's actually really cold outside. Stage 6 is a severe decline, and people struggle to remember familiar faces and names such as their family members, and they also experience delusions such as that they're in danger of getting killed. Stage 7 is the very severe decline, and at this point, people in this stage cannot respond to the environment and they lose control of movement. They are not able to take care of themselves, so they are usually put under the care of a nurse or into a retirement home. There is currently no cure for Alzheimer's, so the best thing that people can do is prevent themselves from getting Alzheimer's or help delay the effects of those people who are already diagnosed with it. This can be done with medication that is prescribed by a doctor or more natural methods that help stimulate the brain and the body to keep it healthy, such as through exercising and critical thinking. There's also supplements such as natural vitamins like omega-3 that people can take that are supposed to help the brain keep its memory better. I wanted to inform you about what Alzheimer's is and give you a more understanding of it because it is such a huge disease that is very common. And I wanted to inform you of what the disease actually is, what it does, and what we can do to prevent or prepare for it in the future if we are ever to have it.